I'm here in downtown Tampa. I came down this morning to meet up with a friend of mine, Chris Gillespie, who I had met back in January. Chris is homeless. He's been homeless for quite a while, and he's got an interesting story because he's traveled to many different cities and visited different facilities. Chris last year had been working at Walmart, and some things happened with his housing situation, and he had lost his job because he was homeless. So he lost his place to live and wasn't able to keep the job because he didn't have a place to live. So we're going to let Chris tell a little bit of his story and find out more from him. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, James?
Say your whole name.
My name's Christopher Gray Gillespie.
And you're from where? I'm
originally from North Carolina. I've been here in Tampa since 2008.
Okay, and you had a job at Walmart in the past, and how long did you work there?
A little over a year and a half.
And what had happened that caused you to become homeless?
Where I was living at, I was renting a room from my daughter's mother, and we was paying our rent and everything, but she had let the house slide into foreclosure, and she didn't notify any of the people who was living in the house, so we woke up and had an eviction notice with 72 hours to get out.
So there were other people renting rooms or whatever
Yes.
it may be, and she was just taking the money and not paying it.
Children in the house and everything. So.
Yeah. Okay. So and then your job, you said.
Well, I was an overnight stalker. I worked third shift. So whenever we became homeless, my daughter and everybody went up to West Virginia, and me and my fiance that I was with at the time, we ended up on the streets, and having nowhere to sleep during the daytime, I couldn't work at nighttime and not have no sleep. So I had to take a leave of absence, and we tried to find somewhere to move into. A lady told us that she was going to rent to us, but because the property had fire damage and a bad water heater, she didn't want to replace it. So she said that she couldn't rent to us, so that left us on the street again.
Now, is that the woman that you had told me the story before had taken money from you, and what had happened
Nina
with that?
Fleming. She actually let us move in there on the Christmas Day and told us that she was going to wait until I received my money from Walmart to pay her the first month's rent. My fiance had turned the electric on, water on, and everything, and so she ended up throwing us out, and we lost out on the deposit for the utilities.
And then you probably still owe bills on the, or she does on,
she
on
does,
the electric and stuff
and
that was
the
on.
other guy, James, he's actually the one that paid the deposit. He has the check from the utility company, and he can't cash it because it's in her name, and she's no longer here. So.
Okay. So after you had met me back in January, you had thought you had found a job, right? In where was it? Fort Lauderdale?
No, it was actually in Stuart, Florida.
Stuart. And what had happened there? You guys went down there?
We hitchhiked over there. We got hired. It was at a carnival, traveling with a carnival, and we got hired. We worked for like a week, but they weren't on the road or anything yet, and they tried to split me and my fiance up. And with her being 21 and never worked in the carnival industry before, we didn't want to split up. So they told us that if we didn't want to split up, that they didn't need us. So we ended up losing that job because of that.
And then from that point, you guys did what?
We went to West Palm Beach. We stayed down there for 2 months. We realized that they are a little more homeless friendly in West Palm Beach. There's a lot of resources and a lot of help in West Palm Beach. We could have stayed there and probably already been on our feet, but we decided that we wanted to be a voice for the homeless and try to raise awareness and try to make some kind of change in Florida. So we decided, and my daughter was in West Virginia, and I wanted to that was the main point too, is to help the homeless and to get to my daughter. So we decided that we wanted to walk from West Palm Beach up to West Virginia. So we left out on March the 4th, and we started walking, and then I created my Facebook page, Walk for Humanity, and started walking.
Now you had visited how many cities that you stopped in?
I didn't count them all, but every city that's from West Palm Beach to Cocoa Beach on US 1, and then Orlando, Ocala, Gainesville, Marietta, Macon, Georgia, Atlanta, Johnson City, Tennessee, Bristol, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Now, in those cities, when you stopped, did you camp out in a tent? Did you go to a shelter?
Some places I went to, well, on the way up there, I mostly camped in tents and went to like feedings and Salvation Armies and stuff like that to shower. America's Foundation for the Homeless in Leesburg.
That's Foundation for America's Homeless.
Foundation for America's Homeless.
Right. The thrift store in Leesburg.
Yeah, I went there. I checked out like places from word of mouth on the street that's supposed to help the homeless. I went and checked those places out.
Right. Your visit to Foundation for America's Homeless in Leesburg. Let's touch a little bit on that. What did you take from that?
Well, they have posted on their sign and on the windows when you get there that they house the homeless. But in all actuality, they don't house the homeless. They just provide showers and a ham sandwich, a bag lunch, and they let you do your laundry. So that's pretty much, and they have a thrift store.
And you said how much laundry they let you do? Or?
They let you do, I think that you can do as much laundry as you have, but I think you can only do it like certain days a week. I'm not 100% sure.
Now the showers.
Showers is one shower that you can go in there and take. Male, female, you have to like rotate or whatever.
Right. So it's one per day or one a week or what?
I think you can take one a day.
One a day. Okay. Now, do they give you any clothing if you need clothing to put on?
They don't give you clothing. You got to buy that from the thrift store.
So it's a thrift store, and you're homeless, and they won't give you any clothing to put on.
Yeah, they don't do that. They said.
Okay. Now, you told me something about they offered you to do work there.
Yeah, they'll let you do work for like a tent or a bicycle or something like that to help you with. They will do that.
And how much work do you have to do? How long in order to earn things?
I don't know. I once they said I wasn't staying there, so I didn't really get into detail. I just asked if they helped with bicycles or anything because I was walking. So.
Did you see any other people using the facility, using the showers?
There was a couple people that came through there, but not very many.
Not many. So what did you take from the whole thing?
It's not really what they need in Leesburg. They need more assistance because they have not a real high population of homelessness, but they do have homelessness, and then from surrounding areas come there, like Come As You Are Ministries. I met a lot of people there.
Right, that's Joanna.
Yeah.
Right.
I met a lot of people there.
And how did Joanna help you out while you were there?
She was very welcoming, and they feed and stuff there, and a lot of spiritual guidance. It's a faith-based place, so.
And Joanna, I know, I guess, for clothing and for food, and she's very, very giving.
Yeah, very giving, very generous, and she has a good idea about. There's a closed down motel next door. She's wanting to get that property so that she can house homeless there and help them get them off the street.
And do you think something like that will help?
Yeah, she just don't have the funding to do it. So.
Okay, so you're back in Tampa now, and I know that you stopped at a few places along the way, and you got some help to get back here to Tampa. What do you see different from Tampa than other cities?
Well, first off, let me touch on. Okay, I left from. I had gallbladder surgery in Beckley, West Virginia.
That's right. Yeah.
Right after I got up to West Virginia.
You could have died from what happened.
I had. They thought I had a blockage in my bile duct, but it all came through all right. I had the surgery. It went well, and I got out and I healed. 5 days later, after I got out, I started walking back down here because my daughter's mom went through some things up there, and they came back to Florida while I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
So I left on, I believe it was, what are we in now? This is August, so it was around, I got up there in May. It was around July the 15th or something like that. I think that I left. I'm not sure on that. I know I got out of the hospital. I had my surgery on June 23rd. And 5 days after that, so it might have been around July.
On your trip back, how many shelters, how many places did you stay?
I stopped at a shelter in Knoxville, Tennessee.
What was that called?
And it was called CARM, Knoxville Area Rescue Mission. And they have a good program that's going on there. You can check in. They have facility showers, everything. They feed you, and then and this is what Tampa needs right here. It's not I mean, we need the facility to sleep and everything, but the showers and the storage to be able to store your belongings is the biggest issue here, so that people can get back to work and be clean. And at CARM in Knoxville, when you check, the building closes at 8 a.m. and you have to go outside. But next to it, they have a courtyard, and they check in your belongings into a room right there. There's a door. You line up and you can check your bags in, and you can leave them there all day. And you can, hang out in the courtyard or whatever to keep you off of the city streets or whatever. But it's mostly to encourage you, though, to go out and look for work. That's why they store your belongings, so that you can help yourself. It's good to have people to help you, but you got to help yourself too if you want to get out of the situation. So, I mean, that's the big thing. I was also in Safe Harbor in Pinellas County once I got back to Tampa, because somebody bought me a bus ticket from Knoxville, Tennessee to here.
Who was that bought you the bus ticket?
Lisa Johnson. She's part of I Am My Brother's Keeper.
Okay. And what does she do? Do you know?
She does a lot of outreach for the homeless here in St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, Pinellas County.
Okay.
She's a very sweet lady.
So she assisted you in getting.
She assisted me. Her and a couple of other people in her organization chipped in together to get me back to here.
Okay.
And so whenever I got here, I came into Tampa on the bus. And
called me.
I called John, James told him I was back in town, and
I met you like 20 minutes after you got off the bus. Yeah.
As soon as I got off the bus, I met up with him. We walked around, and I started seeing how things were still in Tampa, which nothing's really changed. Right. And so I had made the decision when I was on my way here. I told Lisa that when I got here, I wanted to go over to Pinellas County to go into a shelter. So, because I didn't want to be on the streets in Tampa again, because I've been here and experienced it, and I know how you're treated over here, and there's no resources. It's hard here, and so she told me that she would come over here and pick me up and take me over there. So I stayed the night here with James on the street that first night, and then we hung out the next day.
Woke up by the security guard,
we woke
5
up,
o'clock
and
in
then
the morning.
We were harassed at McDonald's the next morning. We couldn't get our coffee.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she said you're not allowed in the store.
Yeah, she said,
and you never even been in that store.
And she told me I wasn't allowed in the store. But anyways, it was because we had our bags. That's
right, exactly.
But so the next day, me and James hung out for a while, and then he had to go, do his thing, and we split up. And then I went and journeyed around and everything, tried to,
And then you went to Safe Harbor.
And then that night at around 11 o'clock, I got into contact with Lisa. She contacted me and asked me if I still wanted to go over there, and I hadn't ate or anything over here. There was no feedings that day or nothing. So I told her, yes, please, if you can come and get me and take me over there, I'm starving. If I get something to eat, I'll go.
Now, how many days did you stay at Safe Harbor?
I stayed at Safe Harbor 2 weeks.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about your story about Safe Harbor. What is your opinion? What's going on there? What's good? What's bad? What changes need to happen to make it better?
All right, let me start with the good things first, because it's a shorter list. The good things is that it's a roof over your head, and you have access to shower, and you don't have to carry your belongings if you leave. So that's the good things. The bad parts about Safe Harbor is that the people who run it are pretty much police officers or ex-prison guards, and they have the mentality that everybody that's in there is a criminal. And me, for one, and there's other people there also, I'm not going to mention their names because I don't have permission to mention their names, but I spoke with them while I was there, and I mean, you can discern if you talk to people and they know you and trust you enough. They'll tell you if they have a background or whatnot. And some people's there that have backgrounds, some that's not. They bring people from the jail there. So I mean, you gotta expect people to have background. But anyway, the point of the matter is that they have the mentality that everybody in there is a drug addict or an alcoholic or a criminal, and they run it like it's a prison. And they yell at you, they disrespect you. The portions of the food is very small. You're not getting nutritional value at all. Every morning for breakfast is grits, a small portion of grits, one boiled egg, and a small piece of chicken. And it never changes. That's the same breakfast every day. Same lunch every day. A quarter of a 6-inch ham and cheese sandwich. A third of it is cut in threes. And at nighttime, churches come and they feed, so then that's when you get a bigger portion at night. But throughout the day, you don't eat. And so that is a bad thing about Safe Harbor. They have bed bugs. They're mats, because you don't have bunks or anything. You sleep on the floor, but they give you a boat and a mat. You're in an open pod. And some people, you know, come in off the streets and they don't shower on a regular basis. There's nobody to, you know, enforce you to take a shower. There was people there for the whole 2 weeks that I was there that never got in the shower, you know. So, I mean, it's health problems there that you got to worry about. Tuberculosis. Nobody ever gave a TB shot, you know. It's a lot of things that need to change there in order for it to work. It's not working. Mm-hmm. That's the point of the matter is, you know, so I chose to be on the street in Tampa.
You left what day?
Rather than stay there. I left last Friday.
And you're not going back?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, where are you going from here? What's going
on? I'm leaving probably next Friday after my daughter's birthday, because her birthday is this Wednesday. I'm going to spend time with her this week and everything, and then I'm going to Michigan. Somebody's actually offering me a place to stay in Michigan. Mm-hmm. to give me another chance to get on my feet.
Yeah.
So
hopefully that works for you, Chris. Hopefully that works out for you. You know, stay in touch through Facebook and let people know what's going on. And anything you'd like to say to close this out?
No, just pretty much that Tampa, they still got a lot of work that needs to be done. Because since I've been back here on the streets, there's a lot of intimidation going on to homeless. There's no empathy and there's no respect for people here at all, and there's still a lack of showers and stuff like that, and even the food is getting scarcer than it used to be. Yeah. So people are actually struggling a lot worse here than they were when I left. But
yeah. Okay, Chris. Well, thanks for talking to us. Thanks for talking to people that are going to watch. And oh,
and one more thing, can I say? The issue with the spice here, somebody really needs to do something, because there's going to be a lot of people that start dying on these streets because of this spice.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah, I see it's getting worse.
People are getting real sick off of it, and I mean, I feel like it's the city's problem, because I went to other cities, like I said, and there's spice there too, but it's not near as bad as it is right here. And it's like the city officials, they're not enforcing the ban on the spice, and they're just allowing it to happen because they're using that to exterminate the homeless, and they don't need that. They need to get them help. That's
an interesting theory. Okay, Chris, thanks for talking to us, and again, it's good to see Chris again. I'm glad to see that he's alive and he's keeping himself safe. It's tough to stay safe out here on the streets. And people that are out here every day, you don't know who you're going to run into or what's going to happen next. Even at the facilities and the places that feed and provide what little services there are, you have no idea who you're going to run into or what's going to happen. So I'm going to put links to Chris's Facebook and information in the description below. If you want to send him a message, if you want to show him any support, please do so. Please share this video. Comment. I need to see some comments. On YouTube, below the video is where I need to see the comments. There's people that comment on Facebook and share the video. That does help. That does help, but I really need to see some interaction on YouTube. And I'd like to see more subscribers too, always. That helps. I'm not trying to beg for it like a lot of people do, but it seems to mention it does help. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.